Hey, what's up everybody and welcome back to AAT Works. It's Norb here and today we're looking at a brand new mold from MiniGT. It's the Liberty Walk Murcielago GT EVO in black. And if you saw last week's video on the Murcielago Type 2, this is the perfect follow-up because this isn't just a wide-body Murcielago, it's Liberty Walk's new design language pushed right onto one of their oldest Lambo platforms. It's insane. Let's go. And to start off with, just on a quick side note, I might sound a bit weird because I'm still a little bit under the weather and I'm actually pre-recording some episodes this week, so I'm gonna sound like this for a while still, so it is one of those things. Anyways, back to the model. So this is one of MiniGT's most recent releases. It's number 1053, and of course it's also the very first time they've done the GT EVO kit on the Murcielago, and the timing makes total sense. The Murcielago is the oldest Liberty Walk treated Lamborghini because back in the mid-2010s, Liberty Walk created the classic Type 1 and Type 2 wide body kits for this car. The usual recipe of crazy over fenders, massive wing, aggressive bumpers, and this typical iconic looking slammed stance. Then around about the same time, the Huracan got the same typical LB treatment, big arches, big wing, and it looked absolutely epic, and the formula just worked really well. But after that, things changed when the Aventador entered the picture. Liberty Walk went extreme, sharp lines, new aero ideas, a lot more details in their body kits, and after that they just totally snapped, went completely off the rails, and created the Huracan GT, a total reimagining. It was not just a simple wide body kit anymore, it was much sharper, more angular, and a whole brand new design philosophy. And subsequently that evolved into the Aventador GT EVO in around 2021/2022, which was another complete rethink of the car, the wildest LB Lamborghini that they have ever built. And now finally the old-timer Murcielago has been given that exact same GT EVO treatment. This is of course the modern design language of Liberty Walk applied to the original V12 icon, and as you can see it looks absolutely insane, and even the box looks pretty awesome, typical MiniGT style looking stuff. And of course it's also fully licensed by Lamborghini and Liberty Walk as well, and as you can see it's fully sealed, so let's check it out. And now I've just opened up this area here and let's actually check this out. Oh, I'm very excited to have a look at what this looks like, and here we go. Wow. Oh my word, wow, that looks absolutely insane. Wow. Oh my god, that is like super sinister looking. Wow, that is extremely insane. I love this look of it in black. It just has so much character. It looks completely sinister and looks absolutely wild. My word, it's a total reinvention of the Murcielago, and you can just see it's got so much drama with these silver sections with a black. Wow, okay, this thing looks absolutely menacing. And the body kit itself is really crazy. You can see the amount of work that's been done to this car. It's been completely redesigned, and they've had a go at the entire car just like they did with the Aventador GT EVO. And you can see that the design direction is unmistakably part of that same GT family. And it's crazy to think that in the mid-2010s, Liberty Walk was just finessing the Murcielago with its typical over fenders and wide body conversions, really adhering to the design of the car itself. And now they've slapped on these full body swaps, this carbon style aero kit, these monstrous arches, and this massive GT wing, even with that struts, giving it a really modern aesthetic and transforming this classic V12 supercar into what looks more like a track-ready hypercar. It's absolutely ridiculous. And MiniGT nailed that transformation in scale. It's got really good proportions, overall a great stance, and a huge amount of detail that's gone into this car. You can see the wide body, how insane it looks. a lot of three-dimensionality in this wing area, just looking at it quick. Of course, great quality in the paint, and overall just really good proportions. And comparing to last week's Murcielago Type 2, which still maintained a semblance of the original lines, this GT EVO looks completely unhinged. It's absolutely insane. I feel like if Batman drove a Murcielago now, this would be it. It's just absolutely insane. So let's check it out under some closer inspection. And starting off with the paint, we've got this really nice highly gloss black. It does have a little bit of like a texture to it, I guess, but that's not something you can see just like on your shelf or anything like that. But overall, this thing looks absolutely incredible. It's got a huge amount of detail in all the areas, and you can see the way that the light lines hit off the car. It almost looks like some kind of a liquid black. It's very stealthy. It's like a shadow of a car rather than an actual car. It looks really, really sick. So starting off with a roof as usual, we've got a pretty smooth finish over here. Nice split lines in the top, especially in this rear section leading to this engine intake over there. And you can see this engine intake looks pretty awesome over there, and actually is kind of reminiscent of the Essenza SCV12, which also had that center intake over there. Of course, this is just a Hot Wheels variant, but it's the only one I had to show you that comparison with. So that's a cool little detail brought over from a different type of Lambo. And one of the common things with this car you'll see is that it brings a lot of design influences from a lot of different Lambos into it. So continuing onwards, nice little Liberty Walk logo in the banner there, and good visibility into the interior, and some windscreen wipers too. It's not a separate element, it's just molded into that same piece of plastic. Then heading into this front section over here, once again a huge amount of drama, and once again a huge amount of design inspiration taken from the Essenza SCV12. So you can see we've got this dual air outlet in the center, and even a NACA duct right in between them. So it's really awesome to see that bit of design philosophy brought over into this car once again. And you can see the surfacing looks absolutely crazy, and it looks super dramatic in this black. And of course, in those air outlets, we don't have any texture or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame, but it still looks pretty awesome. From then on, we head into these really dramatic, evil looking headlights. As you can see, they've been completely triangulated. They've even got, it seems like, an intake just above them. And of course, comparing to the original, they used to look like that. So you can see the amount of change that actually went into it. It's a complete redesign, and it's actually pretty reminiscent of the new Revuelto's headlights. We've also got this triangular sort of motif going around, and you can really see that reflected in this Evo GT. Then heading down, we've got a little Lamborghini logo in the center, Yokohama with a little red, and actually there are quite a lot of red accents around this car, which really gives it some nice unique character. Great amount of three-dimensionality, and you can see how much this front end protrudes. Once again, this front end is very similar to the Essenza V12 over there, and you can see that we've got a pretty similar character. Although this is Hot Wheels, you can't really see the details, but we do have some hexagon shaped lights in the front there, and that is once again reflected in this car. So we've got these hexagon shaped acrylic lights, and you can see it elongated at this angle with the fog lights hidden just behind them as well. And of course, a really deep front intake over there, super dark and black in there. You can't really see much, but it's got a lot of character. And then that heads into these side canards over here, and the angle here is reflected in this massive bottom lip as well. And it looks super sinister and very cool. And even the split lines here are really crisp. And from this front three-quarter angle, you can also see how dramatic the surfacing is on this car and how nicely it's been designed. We've got this front fender with this really crisp edge going all the way down, swooping down to the front of the car and curving all the way around underneath the lights and executing in the center of the bumper. It is super dramatic and really crisp, and just gives it a really sinister and ready to attack style aesthetic. Very, very cool stuff. And of course, great surfacing in the edge over here, and you can see the amount of drama happening around here as well. Then we've got these air outlets just above the wheels. they are three-dimensional. They're not really poked through, but they are kind of detailed. It's a little bit washed out, but it is once again reminiscent of all these GT EVO cars. So there it is on the Aventador as well. Then from then on, we head down to these awesome looking wheels. So this is a set of Rahana forged aluminum RLB1 wheels designed specifically for Liberty Walk, and it's a multi-piece wheel, so you can actually swap some pieces out, and you can even see it says LB-Works around the edges, just finished off in this matte black, and quite a nice bit of three-dimensionality, but of course no brakes or anything like that behind it, but they look pretty impressive. And of course it says Yokohama in white, once again with that red edging, so another bit of red carried through. And the tire tread looks pretty decent enough. It's kind of strange how it's not like in the center. It is a little bit weird, but they do rotate pretty decently. It's not exactly free rolling, but it still rolls at least. Then underneath the car, pretty simplistic, typical Mini GT looking stuff. And heading back to the side, you can really see how much drama is happening in this car, and you can see that the silhouette has completely changed and it's become extremely modern compared to the original Murcielago just over there. So there are quite a bit of differences, and one of the main differences is you've got a lot of overhangs, especially in the front over here. Looks seriously like some kind of hypercar, and of course these extreme extensions in the rear, and this wing as well looks absolutely Batmobile-esque and gives the car a huge amount of drama and character. Of course, adding to the drama, this black and these beautiful light lines heading off the side of the car. You can just see it carries across that shoulder line over there and drops off on this surface over here. And here we've got LB, Liberty Walk in massive letters, very typical. And this side skirt looks really three-dimensional with a huge amount of drama. And we've even got this little winglet in the front, once again reminiscent of the Aventador GT EVO just over there, so you can see that. And the side intake in the rear over here is still pretty much reminiscent of the actual Murcielago. So there are a little bit of pieces of character still kept from the Murcielago, and I really like that. It was similar to what the Murcielago SV had, and that looked really awesome. And that also creates a good amount of three-dimensionality, but no vent in there. It's just a flat surface, as you can see. In terms of shut lines, all really nice and crisp, as you can see around the doors. And of course, we've got the typical Lamborghini DLO, really long and swooping nicely across the car. And we've got some pretty decent visibility into the interior as well, which we'll check out soon. Of course, complementing that are these awesome looking wing mirrors, and that's really reminiscent of the old school Murcielago, and those were really long and swooping, and this has a pretty similar looking character as opposed to new Lambos, which tend to have quite a shorter type of wing mirrors like that. So that's really cool to see. Then after that swooping DLO, we've got this intake over here, of course this time in its closed format, and it says Ideal, Bride, likewise Yokohama and Liberty Walk. Nice crisp white writing. And of course we've got the intake over there. It's super dark, so you can't really see much into it, but there's no grille structure or anything. And from there we head down to this rear wide body section. Of course, very typical Liberty Walk. We've even got the bolts going all across the edge, and that's more reminiscent of the Aventador that had it like that. So that's a little bit of touch from that car as well. As you can see, the Aventador GT EVO was a lot more crisp and a lot cleaner. So this is still bringing back rivets and racing style nostalgia back into this old school Murcielago. And of course we head into this extremely insane Batmobile style wing. Once again, that is very reminiscent of the one on the GT EVO. However, I feel like this one is even more pronounced than it was on that car. A huge amount of three-dimensionality, not just the fact that it extends very high, but it's even got some details on the edges of the wing there as well, and that gives it a lot of character. And that of course swoops back down to this rear edge, and it heads into this kind of undercut in the bottom of the car, which is once again more reminiscent of the way they treated the Aventador back in the day. So huge amount of drama, and once again super Batmobile-esque. It's really cool. It looks like some kind of a stealth fighter jet, like an F-117. super epic, really cool and sinister. Then from then on we head back into the rear wheel, and once again we've got the same design, but they are staggered. You can see it's a little bit wider, and we do have a bit more lip there as well, and as you can see they spin around pretty well. And I'll actually put it here for you so you can see the way it looks spinning around. And I really like the way that they've put the writing on the wheels. It gives it a lot of character when it's moving. You can just see it looks really cool. And now we head back into the rear end, and once again we've got a huge amount of drama happening over here. Crazy amount of surfaces and a lot of three-dimensional geometry, and this time we actually take quite a lot of inspiration from the new Liberty Walk Countach and also the standard Countach. So straight away you can see the amount that the rear diffuser extends, and that's very reminiscent of the Countach over there. Then above the diffuser we've got this extremely dynamic looking rear end over here. So this section over here is very reminiscent of the GT EVO once again, but it's mixed in with a little bit of Lamborghini Reinvention as well. So I'm getting those kind of vibes. And these air outlets also have a nice bit of three-dimensionality in the little grille texture over there. And in the center we've got this humongous air outlet, and once again a similar texture. It's got a bit of three-dimensionality and looks really nice, and that's complemented by these two massive round exhausts finished off in this titanium blue. And it's actually pretty interesting that they didn't do a hexagon shaped exhaust. I thought that's probably would have been the natural thing to go for, although they complement these round lights very nicely. So they're three-dimensional, but they're not separate elements. They're just painted with these red edges, and we've got the silver in the center and the black over there. But overall, this rear mask area is highly reminiscent of the Countach once again. So there you can see the way it gets a little bit narrower in the center, and the edges have this kind of hexagon shape to them. It's pretty interesting. Of course, this car had it in a square format, and this one has round lights. And we've got this really interesting looking lip or wing extension on the rear over here, creating a lot of drama. And you can see we've even got these little winglets on the side just for the stability at high speed. And you can see the way it actually shoots off from this line over here that goes next to the bonnet over there and kind of carries through to the rear end over there, and that's really awesome. We hadn't even seen that on any of the GT EVO cars or anything like that, so that's a really unique touch and a huge amount of character, very intense looking. And you can see the way that this actually continues this rear edge into the top part as well, and creates a huge amount of depth in this rear mask. It's really awesome. It looks like robot's eyes or something like that. It's really epic. I like that so much. Heading back into this really dramatic wing, we got a lot of three-dimensionality. It looks very nice and super geometric, and you can see it's actually free floating above the rear deck over here, similarly to the GT EVO Aventador. And we've even got the center strake supporting the weight of it. It looks really awesome, and it's got a very similar curve as well to the Aventador GT EVO, so you can really see where the inspiration for this whole area came from. Of course, in the rear deck we've also got these air outlets, and once again finished off in a nice 3D texture. And I really love the fact that they're finished off in silver rather than black, because it just gives it an extra bit of interest for that area. And we've even got this little white stripe heading down the center of that strake. A huge amount of drama, and it just looks absolutely insane. Then of course we've got a little fuel filler cap on the side here. Then heading into the interior, it looks to be very nicely molded, and we've got quite a lot of details happening here. So we've got the seats over here, and they've even got the bolsters on the backrests, and pretty decent detailing in the center console over there as well. And from the front here, we can see the way that they've done the dashboard. It's pretty simplistic, nothing too crazy, but it is defined enough for it to be recognizable as the Murcielago. Of course, the steering wheel there as well. And I thought I saw some radio elements there, but they are difficult to kind of catch a glimpse of from this angle. You can just see that it is there just above the steering column. So really great interior as well. And here's the car spinning around in all its glory, and man, what a crazy culmination of design philosophies stretched out through Lamborghini and Liberty Walk as well. So many different design elements taken from so many different cars to create the seriously unique and completely epic redesign of the Murcielago. I feel like it's the full circle moment. The oldest Liberty Walk Lambo revived with their newest design philosophy. And of course, MiniGT has absolutely crushed this release. A brand new mold, tons of details, and arguably one of the craziest reinterpretations of a Murcielago that we've seen. It's insane. I really love this model, and I must say it's going to be coming in other colors as well actually, so we're going to see a lot more of this car, and it is really an epic one to pick up. The prices for the car are around about the 15 to 20 pound mark, and I'll leave an affiliate link for you guys down below so you can pick one of these up. I get a little bit of money with the affiliate links, but it's at no extra cost to you whatsoever, and it just helps the channel out. And that brings us to the end of the video, and man, what a review this was. It's an absolute roller coaster of a car in terms of design. There's so many incredible details hidden along it. It's absolutely epic to see. I really had a lot of fun. And if you're still craving more Liberty Walk Lamborghini madness, I've linked a whole bunch of video for you guys down in the description. Of course, I did the Murcielago Type 2 last week, and previously I'd also done the Huracan GT and the new Lamborghini Liberty Walk Countach as well as a whole bunch of other Liberty Walk Lambos. So check them out down below. And of course, thank you guys for watching A8A Works, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Ciao.